You're listening to Rise to Your Purpose, a personal and spiritual development podcast for female entrepreneurs with a mission.
We're your hosts, Brandie and Natalie.
In a recent episode, Natalie and I shared with you the difference between low-ticket and high-ticket network marketing options. In this episode, we want to dive in a little bit deeper with our upline and friend, Michelle Tufford, and share with you two different ways that you can actually leverage high-ticket income streams in the online space. Enjoy. Hey friends and purpose partners, you may be catching us live or listening to this on our podcast, Rise to Your Purpose, but we're excited to come on here today. You have myself, Brandie Thomas, my sister and co-founder of Victorious Entrepreneurs Rising, Natalie Lawson, and then we have a beautiful special guest today, Michelle Tufford, who is with us from the west side of the country. So I love technology and that we get to all collaborate and come together. And today we're going to be talking about high ticket income streams and exposing how awesome they are, honestly. But we just want to put this out there to our friends, the women who are listening to this, who are in the online marketing space, the network marketing industry, and really just help you see what we saw. Like when we've been in the industry, all of us, for like years combined, and we've experienced entrepreneurship in multiple different forms. And when we were exposed and introduced to high ticket income streams, it was a game changer for us. And so we want to make sure that you guys understand what high ticket income streams mean, what are the pros and cons to them, and how can you use them really to create more kingdom impact. So Natalie, do you want to kick us off with diving into more of that?
I'll just kind of share too how kind of my backstory, and I think I want you guys to hear too from Michelle and kind of the difference there, because I love Michelle's vision. She sees something and she goes, and so I think that's really awesome for people to hear. For Brady and I, we kind of have, like she said, we've been in the industry, been a part of some different companies. Our one that we were with for a really long time was 7 years that I was a part of, and loved it, and I fell in love with network marketing, and fell in love with just the opportunity, the residual income that you can create, and just the options that can bring into your life. But there was some struggle along the way. You hit that success. We did hit the, car bonuses, the cash bonuses, went on trips and all of those things. I'm so grateful for that blessing. But I ultimately got to a point where I'm okay, I'm doing all of this work, but I'm not really hitting the income goals that I wanted. And I think in this industry, and ultimately, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, and you have these dreams and these passions, there has to be an income goal. There has to be something, a way for you to hit to a certain level so that you can do the things that God has put on your heart. I think that's how Michelle and I really resonated, because I'd hear her use the term God-sized dreams. I was I've only known one other person to use that term. And so that's what I feel like we have God-sized dreams, and it takes money to do some of those things, right, that He put on our hearts. And so seeing the work that I was putting in, and then the return on the time that I was investing, I was okay, I love what I'm doing, and I love the products, right? You love the company, all those things. But I had to get honest, and I was it's not making me what I thought it was going to make me for all this, in all these years. And it's still every month, you're kind of back at zero and still climbing that ladder, and you're replacing people. And so it was a little okay, I got to come to terms with this and see God, what do you really want from me? Because I feel if you wanted me to hit this certain level, in this company, in this place, it would have happened already. And so I started becoming more open and aware to the fact that there are other ways to make money online. There are other opportunities out there. And we were just all talking about, we were part of Jim Baker's Wealth with God Challenge. And he said, it's about finding the fastest way to pursue your life's mission. And I think when I saw high ticket, I was that is one of the fastest ways to pursuing your life's mission, to rising to your purpose, to putting and being able to do the things that God's put on your heart, and getting out of that mindset or that framework of well, it has to be this one company or this one opportunity or this one way to do it. And so realizing that when you can diversify and you can open up, but do it in a way where you're not having to add all this extra time or all this extra effort, that is really when I feel like the magic starts to happen, like all the good starts to happen. And you also find that passion and re-spark, you know, like your excitement for what you're doing. So that's just kind of like my journey in a nutshell, like really where I made those mindset shifts and realized like it's about what's the fastest way to hitting those income goals and getting to where I feel like God is leading me to. And then connecting myself with those people going in that direction. And that's where Michelle came in. Like God connected us on social media. And I mean, I'm sure there was a strategy behind that. Like we all teach attraction marketing strategies and helping people build their business online. But, you know, it was about building that know, like, and trust, and then seeing, okay, well, what do you have? It might be a solution for me. Right. And so, Michelle, with that, I'm going to like let you kind of introduce yourself and a little bit about how your story, like your journey got started in high ticket.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm excited to be here for one, and how our paths have just connected like so beautifully. It was like perfect, you know, how God works that way.
Mm-hmm.
But so my journey really started into the online space and leveraging social media about 2 years ago. So I had dabbled in some network marketing when it was the home party thing. But you know, it didn't take me very far. It was, you know, having a family and the kids definitely kind of took me away from that. I didn't want to be out doing these like parties and things like that. So I got out of network marketing, but came back in when I saw people leveraging this online space and social media. And I saw people like in my mind, I was thinking, wow, they are seeing a lot of success here. They have the flexibility. They can be home with their kids and they're making good money and they're not capped, or like they're not being paid this like hourly rate, right? And I knew I didn't want to work outside the home. That was important to me. So at that time, I was actually running a meal prep business outside the home, which it was my own business. So yes, there was some flexibility there, but man, the time and energy that I was putting into that and the financial reward for that was definitely capped for time. Like in order to make more money there, I was gonna have to put in a lot more time. And so I felt stuck. Like I felt like we were living paycheck to paycheck, and I've always, you know, God has always provided. We were always making just enough, which I was grateful for. We were always provided for, but there was just this kind of like this stress and feeling like, okay, God was like preparing me for something. And I knew it. Like it just kind of like what Natalie said, like the God-sized dreams, like that just like really resonated with me. And I just kept kind of pressing into that and stepping into these new things. So network marketing, I saw people leveraging on social media and I was like, okay, I'm going to put my foot in there, figure out how to make that work. So I jumped in into what would be considered like a low ticket, right? We're talking like high ticket, low ticket, jumped into what would be considered a low ticket. And the girl that I joined, she was seeing the success that like I wanted. She was making the 5-figure months, right? Like that's always like in my mind. I was like, if I could do that, man, that would change things a lot for my family. And so I wanted that. And I saw the possibility, but quickly realized once I got in, the reality set in of how many people was I going to need to bring in every single month, what like team volume size, number of orders, things like that started to become very overwhelming to me. And I started realizing this is a lot more than I anticipated. This is going to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but I was still very determined, still felt like I was supposed to be in this space and that I just needed to figure it out, and that there had to be a better way. Like there had to be a faster way. There had to be strategy, something. So I was like on this mission to find out like what's the best way. And that's actually when I was introduced to this concept of high ticket. And when I understood and saw how all of a sudden that massive volume of people that I was going to need to sell to every single month to hit those income goals started to become much smaller, like less number of people, it seemed so much more doable. I was excited. I was like, oh, all right, that makes so much sense when we're talking about the influence that we have on social media. And all of a sudden I was like, I don't need to be a huge influencer. I don't need to have hundreds of thousands of followers. If I just, you know, have a couple of people that I can connect with, provide them with this solution. And all of a sudden, like, I only need like, you know, 5 people every month to hit those 5-figure months versus hundreds. So that's why, like, when I experienced my first high ticket commission, I just knew everyone needs to know about this. I was like, if you're struggling in the online space and you feel like you have to build this massive following in order to see success. I speak to that a lot in my marketing. Like, you don't have to do that. You can actually get there faster by leveraging something high ticket. So hopefully that was kind of a long-winded like story, but that's really kind of where my path has led to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, I mean, that was me. I mean, when I first started, I realized there was a change in social media, right? Like, because we kind of came from the home party model and marketing events and things like that. And so I knew, okay, well, that's not gonna, like, I can't do that forever. That's not sustainable. And wanted to know I had ways to help my team. But that was what we were seeing a lot out there was like, well, you had to build this massive following and you had to have this huge brand. And well, that also wasn't super duplicatable because not everyone on your team wants to do that. And then I had to come to terms like, I don't want to be leading like 10, maybe like God later will have me, maybe that will be something I was to do. But as of right now, I did not feel that call to like lead 10,000 people or something like that. But I knew that I still like, I did people talk about like, and I feel like as believers, it's like taboo to say like, to be about making money. But I'm like, I want to make money. Like, I just had to be honest with like, I want to make money, but I don't want it to take up my entire life. Like I did want to be cautious of like, it's not the love of money, right? But it's about making money that I can be profitable in what I do, that I can give where God calls me to give. I can spend time and have that freedom with my family. I can travel. And like, what is going to help me do that where I don't have to worry about like so many people and that all those high numbers, and also where I can just genuinely be myself. And if I'm being myself, I love one-on-one, like Brandie and I do one-on-one coaching. Like we are meant, I just think that's where I'm meant to serve and have relationship with women. And I thought, well, if I'm trying to build this massive like team, it doesn't really allow me to do that. And so when I saw the concept of high ticket where it's like, yeah, you can do that with like a couple people or 3 to 5 people a month and hit those big goal like income numbers, but you're still getting to kind of work intimately with people. Like I love that. So being able to add that in to what I was doing was like, I don't know, mind blowing to me. I'm like, that I saw that business model. I'm like, that's what I feel like I've been praying for. So I don't know, Brandie, what was like your perspective or thoughts like when, because I know so obviously Michelle started, we watched her for a while. Then I finally made the decision, and then you're like, okay, I think this is for me too. So what were like all
I mean, I agree with pretty much everything you guys have all said. I think for me, what finally gave me, I don't know, like just jumped in, finally said yes instead of holding myself back, was because I just knew that God had something bigger for my life, and what I was doing was not going to get me to where he needed me to go. I also think he needed to teach me some money lessons along the way too, of stewardship. And Natalie and I have been talking about, what does it look like to create success in the kingdom? What does it look like to steward success in the kingdom? And so I think that has helped me just in my journey of pursuing God and his heart and wanting to be more like him in my life and in my business. And it stretched me to basically say, God is my master, money is not my master, and surrendering my finances, my income goals over to him. And this was just like that stretch. It was uncomfortable enough of an investment, because with high ticket, you do have to have a higher ticket investment to get in. So it stretched me in my faith, it stretched me out of my comfort zone, but I was also excited about it. Even though there was like that fleshly fear, there was that spiritual excitement and spiritual peace where I knew that this is where God was calling me. I didn't know what he was going to do with it or what the journey would look like, but I knew that he was setting me up for something better and bigger in my future. But he needed me to just like let go of my comfort zone, let go of what I thought the income I thought was my security blanket, and make him my ultimate source for everything, of surrendering my income, surrendering my house, surrendering my husband and my son, and like saying like, God, I'm going to allow you to provide in whatever way it looks like for you. So my journey to saying yes, and like once I've actually jumped into it, it's just been awesome to just see the leverage that we have with the high ticket. And to their point, like I enjoy the personal relationships, I enjoy the one-on-one and kind of diving deeper into the coaching with somebody and bringing them along the way versus, oh, here's another customer, here's another brand partner, you're just kind of another notch in the belt. And people can get lost in the low ticket because you have to recruit so many customers and teammates to really hit those 5, 10 thousand months. And it just become, I don't know, I was getting burnout as well in the low ticket game. And it was just like not fulfilling to me, because I just felt like I was bending over backwards and people weren't showing up, or they were dropping off. And it was frustrating, to be honest. And I'm like, I want to work with people who want the same things that I want, who are motivated to build and grow, and then also are in alignment with my kingdom principles too. And so finding the right team, finding the right compensation plan, and the right business strategy to do that with was really what just helped me to say yes.
Yeah. And so with that, Michelle, I'd love for you to share. I would say like Michelle's like our high ticket expert person, because she has been able to, leverage two different high ticket income streams. And because we have partnered with her, then we have that amazing opportunity as well. She is a coach for Learner and Impact, and we have an incredible coaching program like that. Our team also, gets to go through, but also gets to leverage. And so you kind of get like both different options. So can you share a little bit about like the option, like what does that look like if someone's like, yes, I want to add in high ticket, what does that, what would that be or entail?
Yeah. So yeah, I personally have a couple different options. I know Natalie and Brandie do as well, especially, together as a team, we have these options together, right? So one of them is with our business, Enagic, which is a high ticket network marketing, which when I came across that and understood, the network marketing model and how powerful that is, like we all know, if you're listening to this and you've experienced network marketing, kind of why it's so much of a draw, right? You can build this business, you can build a team, and then you get to experience some like passive type of income where you do have some leverage, right? You bring on team members who then go and sell, and you can make income by building a team. But this with Enagic is taken to a whole nother level when you add the high ticket element to the mix. And again, kind of speaking to the fact that like we get to work more closely, intimately with our team. I love that because we do have very strong mentorship with our team and the coaching. So with that, I also created a coaching program. So I know Natalie and Brandie, you guys coach as well. Like we're in the industry to like, we want to help people see success here. But one of the main things for me when I created my coaching program was for this idea with my team. I wanted to provide something that would allow them to learn the skills to be successful here, how to brand yourself, how to attract the right people into this business, the messaging, but also have the opportunity to leverage it as another stream of income with high ticket affiliate marketing. So the coaching program itself is something where we can meet people where they are, because not everyone is maybe even going to be interested in Enagic. Not everyone is going to be ready for Enagic, but we can meet them where they are and provide the training that they need to see success in whatever business they are in the online space. Like, because we know in social media, at least me, when I got started, it's overwhelming, and to feel like you don't have a plan, you don't have the coaching is really hard. So to have the support and the training that you need to see success in whatever business you decide to leverage in the online space, and meet people where they are with that. But that's included for anyone who joins us in Enagic, which obviously we want to help people see success here. But yeah, those two business models are options for people when we, talk about high ticket and adding it to your brand. It's like, well, what's going to be the best fit for you? It may be Enagic. It might not. It may be high ticket affiliate marketing with coaching, but really just being strategic about where you are and with your brand, and adding something that's going to be complementary to what you're already doing is one of the main things that we coach people how to do. Because it's not about saying, well, you have to let go of what you currently have. You may love it. You may like feel really good about where you are, and you're building this business, but it's just not quite getting you to your income goals as quickly as you would like. That's why, again, it's smart to be strategic and add something in that complements what you're doing, elevates what you're doing, adds more value, and then you're able to serve at an even higher level. You're able to add in something, again, that elevates what you're doing, not takes away from what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest key too, is like, yeah, it can add to what it is you're already doing. That's why I said when I started, it was like, complementing what I was doing. It allowed me to elevate my impact on others and my solution. And it allows you to, I think, yeah, and then elevate your income too. So having those different options. And so I think that, yeah, if you're someone who's looking for, you just want to grow your business, right? Because that's how it started for me when I got into coaching with affiliate marketing. It was, well, I love the whole concept of learn plus earn. Like, we want to help women diversify their income and be able to provide more for their family. And like I said, chase after those God-sized dreams. So like, if you can learn plus earn, so you have the coaching, you get the mentorship, like that's what Brandie and I and Michelle, like we offer, like, and we have for you is like a plan to help you get to where you want to go. And that mentorship to do that, and the kind of like a roadmap for you, right? And what I love about how and what we teach, it's like not this do this exact same thing, right? And you're going to see this success, but it's like helping you learn the skills that you can apply to anything that you're doing and allow you to authentically show up with that confidence and with that clarity on how to build and leverage social media. And then if you can add that to the network marketing model where you can build residual and passive income, then that's where like it just starts to fit so beautifully. And if it's already adding to like what you're already doing. So we have coaches involved. We have people who are in the network marketing, like low ticket industry. So, and some people who just like left. One of our top earners, I'd say, or who's been just doing amazing, like was in the like health industry and like with nursing and kind of like that area, and had to quit because of COVID, and was able to come in here. And, I think 1 month she was close to like a 20K month. So like, it's just, you never know what's going to happen when, like Brandie said, if you surrender and you just put in that trust, but you align yourself to with like the right people and the train that's going to be a best fit for you. And that's what we want to ultimately, that's why we're having this conversation, is if you are in that position where maybe you resonate with one of our stories, that this might be a fit for you too. And I'm just so glad I was willing to ask questions. And you have like Michelle and Brandie and I are all like people who, we're okay if you need to be on one Zoom or two Zooms, because I'm one of those people. I'm like, I had to talk to, I think, Michelle like 3 different times, but hopefully you'll make quicker decisions than I did. But we get it. Like, you have things that you're building or that you love, or, you're just really trying to find like what's going to be that way for you to, and like we said, pursue your life's mission. Like, what is that? And so this is one of the best ways that we have found in the online space, where you don't have to be your guru, where you don't have to create your own coaching program. Like, we only have that because we've seen success. We've, already invested thousands in ourselves. So we want to hopefully make it a little bit easier and less, not have as many maybe ups and downs as like we did along the way, so that we can help you get there even faster than we did. So I don't know, Brandie or Michelle, do you guys have anything else you think that should be added or talked about?
The only thing I wrote down this thought was like, if you want to build your empire, you need multiple streams of income. And I was talking to a client about that today. She's like, I want to build a business. I just see myself. I have this big dream to build a business empire and create all this impact. And I'm like, it might take you a little bit longer doing it the way you do it, but if you add multiple streams of income, it collapses that time frame to reaching those income goals, which allows you to create that prosperity, which prosperity creates impact. So that's my final thought I have for this.
Awesome. Michelle?
I know. I mean, I guess I kind of piggybacking off of what Brandie was talking about, of when it comes to how God teaches us so much about how to steward well. Because I'm learning that more and more through this process over the last 2 years. Like, I don't have it perfect, but it's been amazing to see how God has really just shifted my mindset around making money and helping other people make money. Because yeah, it can be a little taboo, especially as Christians, to like make money or even want to make money. But when you start to recognize like how it's really just a tool, right? It's a tool, it's a resource that God can use to not only bless your life, but bless other people's lives. And that's what gets me really excited about what it is that we do here, because I've seen how God has really just like shaped me and molded me in my mindset around that, and how I have seen how God has used that in my life to bless other people. And I have seen the breakthrough that people have had when they just trust and surrender. And we're not saying that means that you need to join us in business because you need to make that decision with God and feel like that's what God's calling you to. But when you have that moment of surrender and you recognize that it's not about you just coming in and like working harder and hustling and all the things, like, yes, we are required to like show up and trust and surrender. But I've seen in my business where there are times where I come in and I'm like striving and like working, trying to work really hard. And I see how like I'm in this like stressful state. But when like God like brings me back, I'm like, no, like go into surrender. It's like amazing how God like brings people into my business. I get people in my DMs who are like telling me that they're ready. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just was like in this moment of striving. I let go, I surrendered. And then all of a sudden I'm getting these like qualified leads for my business. So I just love that journey that God has taken me on. And I wouldn't have had that opportunity, I think, if I had just trusted, because it's a little scary in the beginning when you have this like latched like control over our finances. So yeah, like learning how to just surrender, let go, and take steps forward when you feel called to.
Love that. Yeah. So if you guys are wanting to take a step forward, or you just wanting to have a conversation around like what would it look like for you to add high ticket into what you're already doing, or wanting to make a shift, then we want to help you do that. So just drop high ticket and we'll get in contact with you. Or if you're listening to this on the podcast, then you can always connect with us. You'll have our links for Facebook and Instagram and our Purpose Partner community as well. And you'll be able to connect with either of us to help you on this journey that we want to invite you into. Like, it's been super rewarding and exciting, and just I can't wait for just the months to come. I can feel it, like God is doing some new things, and so we hope and to have you on this journey with us, and to be either a part of our team, or maybe if you need coaching or mentoring, we're here to help you. Rise to Your Purpose will be a weekly podcast. Our hope is to inspire and educate you on your entrepreneurial journey to help you fuel your passions, live your purpose, and build a business that works for you.
You can subscribe, rate, and comment on any podcast app. We'd love to hear from you. It makes us so happy to see you tuning in to the show. So if you're on Instagram, let us know what your favorite part of the show was by taking a screenshot of the episode you tuned into and tag us at Live Victorious on your story. Let us know what your favorite quote or takeaway from the episode was, so that we can be inspired to keep creating content like this for you.
To learn more about us and get involved with our community of mission-driven entrepreneurs, join our Facebook group, Purpose Partners, where we partner together in faith and business. So until next time, build a business that works for you and stay in alignment with your mission.